Hey friends, it's Janelle with your weekly dose of The Call Out, the show where we explore institutionalized, fetishized, direct, microaggressive forms of racism in hopes of inciting a conversation between the traumatized and the traumatizer. On June 19th, I released an open letter to Calgary Arts. It is potentially one of the scariest things I've ever done, but also incredibly valuable because it has sparked some really important dialogue that I would like to continue. So, with that, my extraordinarily talented and beautiful friend, Tenaj Williams.
Hi, my name is Tenaj Williams, and I'm an artist based out of Calgary, Alberta. And this is the story of how the people in my life have made me feel like I've never actually earned any of the success in my career. So my story starts with The Color Purple, which, if you know me, you know that that show was one of the most life-changing, most powerful, amazing experiences of my whole life. Not only my career, but my whole life. And it starts with when I first auditioned for it. I submitted and it was out in Halifax, and I didn't know the company at all, but I just really loved the show and I knew it would be a powerful show, so I submitted, and I was asking a friend to help me film the tape that I was going to send out for the audition, and he said to me, boy, they must be really hurting for black people if they are auditioning all the way out here with you. And I was like, yep. And then when I actually submitted my tape and I got the part, I was super excited, and I shared that with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine. All the people I'm talking about are friends that I actually still talk to, like they're actually good friends of mine. So I shared it with him, and I said, I got into The Color Purple. It's the Canadian premiere of The Color Purple at Neptune Theatre. And he said, well, that doesn't really surprise me because I don't think there's a lot of really talented black artists out there that can sing too, you know what I mean? So I bet they were really excited when they saw your tape. And that hurt. That cut. That was really awful. And I remember I didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, well, I couldn't believe I got a part, so I'm excited. And I ended up calling my friend Janelle because I was practically in tears about it. I was like, why is it that it always feels like this for me, where I can't, all of the success that I feel like I've earned in my career has to be diminished? Why is that the case? And she talked me down off the ledge basically and said, I don't know if this person's really your friend if that's what they think. But it doesn't stop there. That's the stuff that I'm talking about though, where whether I work in black theater or white theater, it's never because I'm a good artist. So if I get a role in The Color Purple or a show that requires black actors, I have people tell me, well, who else would they cast? You know? Well, of course they cast Nas. There's no other black actors. So I didn't earn that show. And then when I auditioned for white shows, which is the predominant shows that I auditioned for, because I think that there's been maybe one role for a black actor in the last 3 or 4 years professionally. When I do audition for white shows and I get them, I've had people say when they found out I got the show, I've had people say to my face, being like, God, I wish I was black. It'd be so much easier. To which another friend agreed in the same circle and said, if you were black and had a penis, it would be a walk in the park, basically. So when I work in black theater, that's somehow not as respected because there's no black artists that work and they're not as good. But when I work in white theater, I'm just the token. Boy, they must be hurting for black people if they're auditioning you. I'm not surprised you got into the show. There's not that many black artists that can sing and act well. A lot of them just skirt by on diversity. Because it's just been a part of the process for me. That's been from day one. Maybe it's my own insecurity, maybe it's the the world that I grew up in, but I was always taught to not rock the boat. That I know who I am and that should be enough. So I've just been taught to be quiet. It was extremely hurtful because without having to actually say the words, they don't believe that I've earned the things that I've worked so hard for, things that I am proud of and I want to share with the people that are close to me. They undermine it by saying the only reason you get certain things is because of the color of my skin. That's something that they've never had to deal with. My white counterparts or my white friends, they don't have to worry about why they've been cast. They don't have to feel like they're filling a role. They get to do roles that were actually made for their skin color. I have a genuine question that I want to ask anyone who's watching. Is there ever a reason for one of the bigger professional companies, and if they have a cast more than 4 people, to have an entirely white cast? I feel like I've seen a lot of people say that diversity matters, but I've never actually seen a director or a theater company actually apologize for having an entirely white cast. And I think that would go a long way. I've heard a lot of, well, we did the best that we could, or I saw as many people as I could, but there just was no one. To me, that seems like an excuse. So if there is a reason why that happens that I'm not aware of, please message me, DM me, Facebook me. I want to know.
Thank you, Tenaj, for being so open and honest and sharing your story with us today. Each week on the call out, we celebrate a local Blacktivist and promote a Black business. This week's feature artist is both. The amazing Simone Saunders. Simone Saunders is a hand-tufting textile designer from Calgary, Alberta, and the creator at Simone Elizabeth Textiles. She's a graduate of Alberta College of Art and Design and a founding member of Ellipsis Tree Collective. Using a rug tufting handgun, Simone weaves to life vibrant, large-scale creations reflective of her heritage and socio-political commentary that is relevant, resonant, and rich in Black magic. Activism comes in many forms, and through her essential artwork, Simone teaches us that art is a necessary catalyst for conversation and change. Thank you, Simone. Join me in celebrating her and visit her on Instagram at Simone Elizabeth Textiles and at her website, simoneelizabeth.ca. Thank you for joining us on the call out. See you next week where we call a bitch out. Bye.